I'm Old Sneelock. Welcome to another episode of Old Sneelock's Workshop. Looks like it's feeding okay. They go a little tighter. Yep, that's good. Alright, I got it set on max 1. Max 1 is supposed to be 75 amps, 40% duty rating, 17.7 hertz, 21 amps is base. So, let's see what happens. It's either going to work or it's not. here we got a weld. A real for real weld. Not perfect. The best today. Best this year. Wasn't setting it high enough. Okay, let's try this one now. Perfect. Perfect. Some studying, lots of practice. Finally get a good weld. I can trust those. Yep, I got good penetration on both sides. I think I'm good. Done. Welded, wire brushed, painted. Done. Now all I gotta do is dry, leave the furnace run out here for a while, stoke it up and let it keep the room up above 50. And this can dry out. Then I'm ready to go up and start moving some lights. It's lunchtime now, so 11:30. I should go in, make lunch, and hopefully come out this afternoon. I say that, but I don't always get to. And all your suggestions on this job has been a big help. I sat down and watched videos for 2 days. Didn't pick up the welder. And said, okay, what am I doing wrong? And I checked and I read the manuals and charts on my little welder. Turns out I was running it way too low. I had to have it right up at the max. This 1/4 inch plate, it's rated at 5/16. At that rating, at that setting, it's only got a 40% duty cycle. So you gotta run it, let it set, run it, let it set. Which in this case really wasn't a problem because I had setup in between each set of welds. I didn't run the welder much more than a minute at a time. So that problem wasn't an issue for me. But I found out that I had the wire feed too low and I had the amperage too low. So altogether, everything was a little bit too low. Once I kicked it up and got it really cooking, laid right into welding. Now out of all the welds on everything here, all of them are solid. I'm not worried about one of them coming apart. There's only 3 good ones. 3 of them that I would look at and say, yeah, okay, that's good enough to hold something together one shot. And I can see them from here. There's 1, 2, 3. That's it. The last 3 I did. So if you ever want to try wire welding, you got to go in and read the manuals. And I wire welded as I got paid to do it, and I set up welders, and that's a long time ago. I haven't done professional welding for, well, I stopped when I was 30, so that was 45 years ago, 43 years ago, long time. Still welded, still made things, did all kinds of stuff. I didn't have any problem with stick. When I first got the MIG welder, I was welding quite well and not having any problems with it. Running really small stuff, I used the MIG welder for the thin metal, which is why I thought it would be ideal for this, because this is only 12 gauge. Well, I was wrong. 12 gauge didn't have any problem at all taking full amperage off that little welder. It calls it 100% amp or 100 amps, but if that's 100 amps, it's a pretty wimpy 100 amps. In any case, welds are done. Thanks for the idea on the paint, Gator. That was a wonderful thought. I was going to paint this green thinking that, well, it would match the other work I got up in the rafters, but the cold galvanizer is going to stop it from rusting anywhere. And it's going to get hot and cold cycles out here, and condensation and all kinds of other things. So I think that was excellent. If you have any suggestions for new video, questions about today's video, or any of the other videos on the channel, just drop a note in the comments. You know I read them all. Thanks for watching.
This video is not to be viewed by anyone under the age of 13 in the U.S. or 16 in the European Union without the express written permission of the parents or the legal guardians of the underage person. Such written permission must be on file at the local government entity in charge of enforcing the rules and regulations established by the FTC. Anyone violating these terms is admitting by default that they hold harmless the owners and operators of this channel. Any and all questions should be addressed to your local branch of the FTC.